Late night, huh? What a game. Finding a way to win. That's what we talked about, we have a goal of winning championships, and we talked about at halftime. You want to be a championship caliber team. You got to find ways to battle and fight and win games like this. The physical ones, the ones that go back and forth, and the ones that have the adversity that hits you, and throw in there if you lose, the lights go out, throw that in there now too. But certainly proud of just the resiliency and the fight, the drives at the end, whether it's the defense getting the stop and the offense going the length of the field. A couple times during the game, I felt like the momentum was on our side, and we just couldn't quite get over the hump. Defense had a 3rd and long, I think, in the 3rd quarter. We got the face mask call, extended their drive, and, kind of felt like at the first quarter or first half, we were battling our way back and the interception for a touchdown. But, the guys just believe. I think that's who we are. I definitely believe that. And it's fun seeing them just keep scrapping and finding a way. Only time I think we led was the very last few seconds of the game. So I'm going to enjoy this one for sure. Every game we play from here on out that we win, just makes the next one more important. So it's fun to be a part of that here at this time of the season.
In the first quarter, they just seemed to be able to run the ball at will. It looks like maybe in the halftime you guys made some adjustments. Did you make some adjustments? Were you involved in that at all, or did you leave that to your defense?
I mean, I was in there with the defense. I thought the defense did an amazing job. This coaches, what the game plan is, and the adjustments that are a part of the game plan. And there were some tweaks and things to just keep testing throughout the first half, but really got in there, and I thought it was really efficient. I was so impressed with the efficiency of the communication and by the coaches, and then taking that into the locker room, and it played itself out exactly how the coaches were portraying it to the defensive side of the ball. And just really hats off to the guys, believing in those adjustments and making the plays, especially there coming out of the locker room in the 3rd quarter.
What is the balance like on that last drive between trying to score a touchdown and then playing for the field goal there in the last couple of plays?
It's really hard for me to not try to score a touchdown. I really feel that's the first time I've ever done that, where we intentionally center it to win a game. Never done that. Did feel with the wind and how close we were, it was pretty much an extra point, and just being on a hash and the wind coming across. If we didn't score, just wanted to make sure we gave Peyton the best chance possible to give him, a successful try, or an opportunity. And so, I just always feel like, they got to respond to a touchdown if we score it, and it was so late in the last minute that it was going to be hard for them. So we were trying to score. And obviously, you could see we had, I thought, 2 good plays, and we just missed them. You work on the centering the ball and all those things every week in practice, and that very call we worked on yesterday, and how we called the timeout. They actually called the timeout, and then putting the field goal team out there. So pretty proud of the guys in these special moments. We've had different things where we've had Hail Marys and, even playing the ball at the end with certain personnel in the field. Just proud of the way that those guys take that in those practices and put them into the game itself.
Going into that, is there a yardage you were comfortable with Peyton at that you would feel comfortable kicking?
Yeah, I think the 20-yard. If we got to the 20, we felt pretty good. So that catch by CD that he had was kind of right. I can't remember the exact line of scrimmage, but I know we were really back and forth kind of in those few plays on, the range. And it wasn't a matter probably so much if he could hit it. Felt like, Peyton's been hitting it pretty strong. It was just, pregame, I saw 2 balls he kicked right down the middle, and one went left and hit the upright, and one went right and barely got in, And so, he was hitting it even in pregame, and that was kind of the yard marker where, in my mind, pretty much the whole game, we felt pretty comfortable going that direction.
What does that final drive say, where I think a lot of people see this offense and think it's this big explosive passing offense, but you guys have had a couple of games here, been able to kind of matriculate it, to go 92 yards in 18 plays. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, and I felt like that's been the difference with the offense from the beginning is I feel like we execute at a higher level. We have the ability to have the explosives, but compared to most offenses, that I've been a part of, I feel like we have the players that just continually will grind and execute that play and make the play that is needed to extend the drive. Devin Culp catching it and knowing where the sticks are at, and being physical enough to surge ahead for the first down. And obviously it's always, the ball's almost always in Mike's hands, and just being smart. Obviously I know he had a pick, but for the most part he does a great job protecting, and even at the end we're throwing the ball on first and second down, trying to score because the ball's in his hands, and so that's a lot of trust. But I'm proud of the way the guys were just resilient, and there came a point where we got close to midfield, and now okay, now we're the aggressors. When you're backed way up, you're worried about the punt into the wind and how much time's going to be left for their offense, and there came a point where we got out of our own territory, where you knew, hey, this is now in our court.
You had an awful lot of third and long and one fourth and long that you converted. What does that say about the?
It's I think it's just continues to build on the confidence that they have as an offense, and right guys getting the opportunities. J-Mac in the first half on the 4th down and 10, hitting the corner route, and that led to a touchdown. And just getting the right plays against the right coverages. Coach Grubb doing a great job working with Mike on that. They're seeing the same things, and then Mike just delivering and making the throws.
I think you played in a game at Sioux Falls with a power outage, but have you experienced something like that as a coach, and how do you kind of keep guys engaged when there's a 25-minute pause?
Yeah, in 2018 at Fresno, we had the lights go out, and so we had a 30-minute delay. Exact same thing happened. So just kind of, that was the biggest thing I was probably trying to address with the guys, is how hard they had fought to make it the 21-21 score, and we had just gained the momentum, and just to get their minds back on how it felt, even though it was 30 minutes real time, on where we were at, and think about how hard and the adjustments we made at halftime, and how they were executing, and just leave it on the field for the last 11, 12 minutes, and they did that.
What can you say about the way that the defense played really most of the game, but specifically down the stretch to give the offense that last opportunity?
Yeah, I think down the stretch that they're probably a first down away as they get into our territory further and further. Where you start getting close to thinking about timeouts. Maybe one more first down after that inside the 25, 20-yard line if they'd have gotten down there, and then all of a sudden the penalties start racking up, and then that kind of is where we get a chance to pin our ears back and do what we do best, and rush the passer. And so I thought in the first half, the two possessions, I think they were back-to-back, where we got off the field. We had the block punt, and I think the possession before that, we got off the field as well on a 4th down. And so I thought those were ones that just, again, kept us in the game and kept us, in that one score, disadvantage, but one score is all we needed to really kind of get back in it. And, they kept us there, and the offense, got the score, and again, just couldn't quite get over the hump there in the first half, but I just felt like we were the better team out there, just had to get a break to go our way.
I know Oregon State did what they do best, but was it kind of a relief that somebody didn't go after your secondary for almost the first time this season?
Yeah, I think it's just it's different matchups. They got obviously some very good skill players, but I mean it's who they are. So you're playing against that team, and you add the wind to it, and there's still a piece where we're going to rush the passer and get some pressure on him. We missed a sack or two that I thought really could have changed the game. We already talked about the face mask, but there's a give and take too, right? Because they wanted to stay ahead in the chains, and when they stay ahead of the chains, that's when they're at their best. The play action off of the run, and getting themselves into the 3rd and 2s and the 4th and 1s, and bringing Coletto in, and they've been pretty successful all year long. And so that's the style of play. You game plan against that style, and kind of just got to be ready for the big shots. They took a couple, and we protected against it.
Why is Coletto so tough to stop, even when you know what's coming?
He is just, I don't want to say reckless, but he just puts his body out there and just, goes after you. I was so impressed watching the film throughout the week, just bouncing off guys, and, there's a combination of balance and physicality. He's a good all-around football player.
You mentioned the wind a little bit. I mean, did that affect the game plan, or what was that kind of added challenge?
I think it affects the kicking game the most. There was a time or two where I felt like I thought there was a Mike scrambled to his left and threw a ball probably 20, 25 yards down the field. And, he's not perfect, but I felt like maybe the wind pushed the ball back a little bit into the middle of the field. As he was going left, it pushed it more back to the right. So I think there were some of those plays that happened, but he throws a tight spiral. He spins it well. Maybe there was a ball that, he kind of dropped on us. And, that's the big thing, is that the ball moves, so you got to keep your eyes on it all the way until you have it in your hands. And I think we had a drop or two that, probably had a little bit to do with the weather.
All right.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.